I swear I'm a Post Malone fan.
I don't remember.
What do you mean you don't remember?
I don't remember. What is this?
I might have remembered.
Is this an audiobook?
Audio
Where am
what?
I?
What's going on, man?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. And welcome back to another episode of
The Duck Squad Podcast.
Yeah, man, you know what it is. First and foremost, yes, once again, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025.
New year, new me.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It's still me.
Yeah, we ain't changed. It's just a year.
But you changed. I didn't have to.
I get older, things stay the same.
My resolutions are slipping through the cracks, and January is not even halfway done.
I don't even know if I made resolutions for this year. I think I just copy pasted what I did last year because I didn't do none of that.
Motorcycle.
That's not on the bucket list.
His resolution's to be loud. Yeah, I usually don't make resolutions either because they don't happen. But like this year I was like, okay, I'm going to buckle down this year like every other person does. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to exercise more. I have these stretches I have to do now. Yeah, I'm not doing them.
I think I had like one salad so far this year.
One's better than none, I guess.
I don't know.
It's okay. I'll get back into it. I was sick. I got sick. Everybody got sick.
Yeah, no, this first week or so was pretty rough. Like, I didn't feel well.
Yeah. Somebody else didn't feel well. Did you hear that cough?
Yeah, no, someone's coughing
scary.
outside.
That was scary.
It's all good, though. We're safe. We ain't getting sick in here.
I hope you guys are safe. Not getting sick.
Yeah,
wash your hands.
We'll be all safe and well. Yeah, wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Drink your orange juice.
We need y'all. We need y'all to be listening to this podcast. Y'all can't get sick on us.
Yeah, don't get sick.
Okay, y'all didn't come here to listen to us talk about how 2025 is going so far. You came here for an album review.
If you're still here, we kind of were thinking about what our first episode should be. And we were like, you know what? Our very first episode ever was Post Malone. So
since it's kind of dry right now in terms of new music, we were like, why don't we just go back and review all his other albums, start to finish?
Yeah, or not consecutively, but like, since we already did his latest album, we're just going to go backwards and we're going to work our way back up. So expect Post Malone to be sprinkled in throughout the year because why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, no, we're not letting go of Post anytime soon. And there's no announcement of a new album right now. So, like, this is what we got to work with when it comes to Post Malone. So, we got to give you some Post.
So, Post Malone, if you're listening to this, we need new music.
I mean, he's dropped an album every year since 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 Karat Toothache came out 2022. Then Austin, 2023. Then he dropped F1 Trillion 2024. So, there's got to be... I'm assuming there's something coming eventually.
Yeah. But he's touring with Jelly Roll still, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he usually waits till, like, summertime anyway to drop a single, usually, don't he?
That's true. He does love the summer.
Yeah, he's not a winter boy. I don't remember listening to a lot of Post Malone in the wintertime.
No.
New Post Malone. Since I said we started from the top, I guess you guys know this is an album review of Stoney, if you're a Post Malone fan.
Oh, man. Now that we're back into the swing of things, how many times have you heard that so far this year?
Quite a bit, and I'm already tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just play it.
All right, Stoney. This came out almost 10 years ago. Came out in 2016.
Yeah, it's a 2016 album.
When did... December. I actually think it did come out in December.
Oh, well,
so it's a winter album.
It is a winter album.
Yeah, it's a little different.
I think he did that because, like, he didn't have control at the time. It was his first project, so, like, they dropped it when they dropped it.
Oh, yeah.
But after that, like, it's been, like, spring, summer albums. Everything else dropped, like, spring or summertime for him.
Yeah.
I'm going through,
Mr. Malone.
You got to start somewhere. This is where Post started.
Yeah. This was his first one. It had, 3 singles?
Congratulations, I Fall Apart, and White Iverson. Those were the big hits from this record that put him on the map.
Mm-hmm. Especially White Iverson. That really got the hype he really needed to start his career and get moving and do what he wanted to do. Yeah,
that song was playing everywhere. That one, and then Congratulations was a big one as well.
Oh yeah, featuring Quavo.
Quavo.
What happened to him?
I think we know what happened to Quavo.
Quavo?
Quavo. It's Quavo.
Sorry.
I'm like, who Quavo?
Sorry. Listen. All right.
Yeah, we better dive in for things to get too crazy. You know how this goes. You go track by track. We'll give you a top 3 at the end and our overall thoughts. So you ready to dive on
I have overall stuff now.
You got overall stuff right now?
Right now. Some fun facts.
Oh, then go ahead then.
Facts that I found. Okay.
Go off, queen.
Okay. So, first of all, just the title alone, Stoney. I learned that it's in reference to one of his old nicknames, Stoney Maloney. Could have just been Stoney, but Stoney Maloney sounds so silly. I love that for him.
That sounds like a brand of spaghetti. Stoney Maloney.
You hear SpaghettiOs? Nah, we got Stoney Maloney. This had many producers on this album. They had quite a few. Some more popular ones, including Pharrell Williams, Metro Boomin, and Mustard. But there are many others on here to credit. I just didn't write down their names. I'm sorry.
Mustard on the beat. Oh, that's something different.
The song went apparently 5 times platinum, despite the mixed reviews that it had.
You talking about White Iverson still?
I don't know.
Or the album?
The album.
I'm sorry, I thought you said song.
Apparently the album went 5 times platinum, probably with the singles and everything and mixed in there, you know. Post said he wanted to put his own unique spin on hip-hop and have like kind of a rock vibe to it and have his own take on things. And I mean, we'll get more into it, but I don't know if he achieved that. No hate, but
it's just kind of hard to have like a unique, like original style that's all your own when you're like first coming up and like it's your first album. Like it's kind of hard to capture that. Not a lot of artists do that or able to do that. Yeah,
it is hard because nobody knows you. So how are we going to know your unique spin when we haven't heard any of your stuff yet?
True.
I mean, it still did decent when it came out. I think it got 3 nominations. I know a couple were in 2018, so a little later in the game for this album, but one of them was for Top Rap Album. I think it was in 2018 for the Billboard
Music Awards.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, I got you.
These songs are long also. Like the average length for these songs is like 3.5 minutes. It's kind of crazy.
This is 2016, so like this was around the era where like Spotify and streaming in general was kind of taking over, which was causing songs to like shorten up a bit.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't quite completely taken over. Like I know iTunes was still definitely like not on top, but like still kind of a thing around the time.
Yeah.
So like shortening songs wasn't quite as crazy, I think, as it is now.
That's a good point. I probably didn't think about that fully because I'm just so used to songs being like 2, maybe 3 minutes long, and then like I'm listening to this over for the first time in full in forever, and I'm like, oh wow, like these songs are really long. It's really cool though. But yeah, that's all I got.
You ready to dive into this album review?
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna start at track number 1, Broken Whiskey Glass. What'd you think?
I have a question first of all.
What's up?
How did none of us
I know where you're going.
How did none of us even guess that this man would thrive in country music? Because this is a country song. This is his first song and it's country, but it's supposed to be a hip hop album. But this man was like, nah, I want country.
I mean, he said like he's taking his own spin on it. I guess his own spin was putting a country song low key at the top of your album.
I mean, I respect that. That's pretty cool. But still, that's crazy. His first song on his first album's country. Anyway, I like the country vibe on this though. It has such a like a outlaw, like spooky vibe to it that's a little bit different from the rest of the album. So I thought it was a little bit smart putting it as first track because when you're expecting to listen to somebody's first hip hop album, you kind of think to hear like stereotypical themes and beats and stuff like that, and he kind of throws the curveball at you right at the beginning. I kind of respect that. It also opens with a hawk screeching. I'm going to assume it's a hawk, which is so country and so like...
like a vulture.
What is this, Red Dead Redemption? I mean, it is a nice choice though because it stands out from the rest of the album. It does definitely have his unique twist to it, like we said. Second half of the song slowly becomes more hip-hop though, I noticed. So it kind of nicely bleeds into that more hip-hop vibe that we're going to get throughout the majority of the album. I still really like that there are silly lyrics in it. Did you catch some of them?
Like the Joe Biden?
Yeah, call my homie Joe Biden. Oh, man, there's this other lyric always makes me laugh when I hear it. I don't know if I can say on the podcast or if I have to bleep it. It's PG-13, right? Should I bleep it?
I would still believe it.
Okay, well, there's a lyric. He says, "The bitches, they killing me. Like, are you kidding me?" And I mean, throughout the rest of the song, he's kind of like flexing different brand names and use of drugs and alcohol and stuff, I guess. So it starts to bleed into that stereotypical hip-hop-y kind of vibe towards the second half of the song, but overall, still kind of different, still kind of cool. Don't do drugs or alcohol, people. You don't need them, but Post Malone talks about that in the song, I guess, so.
But you hear his growth from that in his different albums.
Yeah, that's very true. He's so much different now when he sings.
Yeah, no, it definitely was a different vibe back here on the debut. For me, I get the vibe, like you said, he was going for that kind of outlaw, spooky sort of vibe with the vocal effects. However, I didn't really care for that vocal effect, mainly because, I think it was cutting into his vocals and making it kind of hard to hear the lyrics through it. Like, it felt a little too echoey for me at first. Then you get into the more hip-hop side of it, and the beat, honestly, was just a bit messy, in my opinion. I kind of feel like it kind of felt like a bunch of different ideas kind of thrown together, as opposed to something that was a bit more consistent.
Yeah, it was a weird transition.
Yeah, and I never really saw Post Malone as a rapper. I know a lot of people saw him as like a rapper in the start. I just never quite saw it that way. It just kind of felt more like a guy kind of crooning over these trap style beats. But like there was a little bit of rapping here, and I didn't really care for it. Like you said, it was that kind of like stereotypical, generic kind of braggadocious kind of type thing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really feel as though he was matching the vibe a bit here. So for me personally, I kind of felt like this was a weak start to the album.
Ooh,
that's why I was saying in the beginning, it wasn't you.
Oh yeah, earlier before we started recording, we were just kind of catching up and stuff, and then he reads my notes and he goes, "Oh, we got problems. It's not you though." And I'm go, "What do you mean it's not me? You're reading my notes."
It's me. I got the problems.
You got problems?
I'm not gonna sound. I'm a Post Malone fan, of course, but I'm not gonna sound like a Post Malone fan by the end of this album review.
Oh no!
That's all I'm gonna say right now. But what was your ranking for this? Your rating?
So I rated this a 6.5 out of 10. I still like it, but like it's a different Post Malone song, and to debut your first album being hip-hop, it's country, so it throws you the curveball, which I personally really think is cool and respect, but overall, it doesn't totally fit with the vibe of the album, though I personally think it's cool. I could have seen it on a different album, maybe a little cleaned up.
Yeah, maybe now if you went back and like cleaned this up a bit with his vibe, maybe I'd like it a bit more, but
yeah.
For what it was then, it just didn't work for me. I gave this a 4 out of 10.
Ooh, is that your lowest rated song so far on the podcast?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever gone below. Have I done a 5?
I think we both kind of sprinkled a 5, 1 or 2 5s.
All right, then I've never gone below a 5.
Oh
so
gosh. Post Malone, plug your ears. Don't listen.
I told y'all, like, I'm not gonna sound like a Post Malone fan by the end of this record. This is probably my. I'm gonna just say right now, this is probably my least favorite Post Malone record.
Whoa, we're throwing it all out there.
That's all I'm gonna say about it overall right now. It's just
okay.
Let's go ahead to the next track.
It's a good reflection because he's had like what 6-7 albums now.
Yeah,
it's a great reflection to look on this now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think he's grown. Yeah. I feel like he's grown exponentially as an artist.
Yeah.
To the point where, I'm a huge fan now. I just wasn't.
We
really
accept opinions.
Yeah, we accept opinions. This was my opinion of this particular record.
That's fine. All right. Number 2.
Big Lie. What'd you think?
Mustard.
That's gonna be Mustard's new tagline. They're gonna drop the mustard on a beat and do that.
They're probably gonna do that now. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, this is a Mustard song. Big Lie is it's a lot different from the first song. This has a very laid back beat, I thought. I really like the chorus. It's simple, it's catchy. He says flexing a lot. Is that Gen Z slang? Is that confirmed?
I think at the time, yeah. Do kids still say flexing these days though?
I don't think so. That's why I'm asking, because we're Gen Z. So I was like, do we say that?
I remember at the time, like, because remember Ray Shember, they had like was that Ray Shember? Or I remember flexing around like this era.
Yeah.
Was going on a lot, but I don't know if we say it too much anymore.
Like big flex or whatever.
Yeah.
What did we say?
I think it was big flex.
Oh.
It's a braggadocious thing again.
Yeah, he's being pretty braggadocious in this one, but he's kind of like calling people out, like seeing through people's BS, and he's calling people out. He's like, you think you're being tough and you're not. But it's a very chill, kind of laid back song for that kind of energy, which I kind of liked. I always love a song where they're like subtly calling people out or just saying kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Seeing through people. I always like a good song like that. I think it gets stuck in your head easy. I think it's hard to get tired of this song. I think it's kind of a hidden Post Malone gem.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I like the whole like message, like calling people out for being bigger than they are. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah, gotta be humble.
Humble yourself. And also agree. You know, this definitely feels more like a signature sound that Post Malone kind of became known for at the time. Between this and his next couple of records, this definitely has a bit more of that stamp. I think the mixing on this was definitely better than the first track. The vocals, he sounds pretty good here. It does have a nice catchy melody. Definitely a step up from the first track for me. But like, yeah, I did enjoy this one.
I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, I kind of thought it was also a step up. It was a step in the right direction for the vibe of the album, and it felt a little more true to Post in terms of like what you said, what we're gonna see in Beer Bongs and Bentleys and 12 Karat Toothache. It's kind of that vibe that we're gonna get, and seems a little more true to himself at the time.
I gave this a 6.5 out of 10.
Well, that is a step up.
And no, it definitely is. Definitely a step in a better direction for this album, though I kind of felt again like a bit generic rather than like an authentic for me at the time. You know, like I'm listening to it, like I say it's a signature sound, but like it doesn't really. It felt more like this could have been someone else's song rather than a Post Malone song. It just, I don't know. Like I gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
That's a pretty good rating for Stoney.
Yeah. I feel like there are a couple other things on here that feel a bit more authentic when it comes to like an original Post Malone sound.
Oh, sure.
That's what I'll say about that. But yeah, with that, the next track.
Here we go.
Number 3, Deja Vu, featuring the man himself,
Mr.
Justin
Bieber.
Bieber was kind of like an avid person for Post Malone at the time.
Yeah, he was a Post stan.
Yeah.
He loved Post. I think I heard he just wanted to be on a Post Malone song, so he like sent a sample in or something and a couple freestyles, and it ended up being put on the song, and he was really hyped about it. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true from my memory of 2016 or not, but
I believe it was something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you're too far off.
I wish they did more music together.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't.
I know. They seem like they work so well together.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't actually like work face to face in the studio, I really like their vibe together.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I thought they had a good vibe. There was some pretty good chemistry here. I'll just say, I thought it was pretty catchy, but I kind of feel like Bieber, they're a good match, but I kind of feel like Bieber kind of takes the shine here a bit. And it honestly felt more kind of like a throwaway from Bieber as opposed to like a Post Malone track.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like this was something Justin had for one of his albums, but like he didn't use it. But then like he gave it to Post Malone.
It worked though. I think it works with Post Malone.
Yeah, no, I think it worked. I think because I thought Bieber kind of shined more on it, that it kind of gave me that vibe of like, oh, this could have been more of like a Justin Bieber track. But I thought Post Malone did fine on the song. I'm not hating on Post Malone here at all.
I think Post Malone's very adaptable when he does a song with somebody, like, which is a great trait to have in music. Maybe the song ended up catering a little bit more towards Bieber, kind of like how on F1 Trillion he had all these features, and every song has this different twang and this different vibe to it depending on who's featured on it. I think he's pretty adaptable when it comes to working with people, and he seems very respectful and very kind. Even back then he seemed very nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So maybe that's just how he is when he's working with people with music, which I don't think is a bad thing. This is probably one of my favorites on the album. This is definitely, I think personally, one of the better songs on Stoney. I really think Bieber gave him some hype for this album, and
I think his cosign definitely did help put Post on the map.
I like how smooth the vocals are with both of them. I like the beat. I have the song saved on a couple playlists. I think it was on my old work playlist. I've made a new one since 2025 started. And I also have, it's kind of a fun personal fact, but like, this is on one of me and my someone's playlists because we dated like long ago back in school, and now we're dating again. So when I heard the song once, I was like, oh, that's funny, I'm gonna add it.
Gave you deja vu.
Yeah, deja vu. I've always been a low-key Bieber fan too, so I was really excited when the song came out. I was low-key a Bieber fan. I never admitted it when I was younger, but like,
I mean, people were so mean to you, like in middle school. Like if you would admit to being like a Justin Bieber fan, like it was kind of crazy. Like, let me just listen to this boy's music.
Fangirls get bullied so hard, and it sucks because you just love something. Like, it's cool to love things. I don't understand the hate. Yeah, he was kind of a punk when he was younger, but like, I don't know. He's grown now. He's got kids.
I mean, he came into the game like young. Like he was really did. 14, 15 or something.
Yeah, and he was found on YouTube. He was one of the first artists to be found on YouTube.
Yeah.
And have that kind of upbringing through social media.
He paved the way for stuff like that. So like,
he really did.
There's some respect on Bieber's name. He's a good guy.
He makes great music.
He really does. He's very talented.
He is. He's a Taurus, I think.
Is he?
I think so. I think our birthdays are kind of close together. I don't know.
Oh.
I gotta find more birthday twins.
Twin.
Yeah. Me and Adele have the same birthday.
You also have the same birthday as him.
Yeah. I've removed him from my Spotify.
Oh, good. We're not going to get into all that.
That's in 2024. That's old.
What was your rating for this song?
Oh, yeah. I gave it a 9. I love this song.
I gave it a 6.
Whoa. Whoa.
I said...
What? You rated Big Lie higher than Deja Vu?
Yeah, I did like Big Lie more than this.
Wow.
I was going back and forth whether or not I wanted to give Big Lie like a 6 or a 6.5, but I ended up liking it more than Deja Vu, and I gave that a 6. So I was like, let me give this a 6.
Okay. I mean, I'm not hating. I'm just kind of surprised.
Yeah, I say what I see it.
Okay, that's fine. I feel like Deja Vu walked, so I Like You could run.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I really like I Like You.
I think it's got the same kind of vibe to it.
I kind of can see that.
That like poppy kind of like love.
That's true, yeah.
Post Malone loves love songs. Anyway.
Moving on, we got track number 4, No Option. What you think?
This is one of the songs I'm so mixed on because...
Really?
I love the song, but my rating doesn't really reflect that. Because I don't know. So, first of all, I think when we hit number 4, I think this is where the album starts to take a turn. Because it's more upbeat. We're hearing a lot more vocals versus these verses.
Yeah.
And I feel like with this song, he's starting to reflect on the fame that he's gaining and the lyrics. Everyone's watching. Like, everyone's looking at him. He has all these expectations put on him and all this fame's being thrown at him. And I think he's starting to kind of reflect on that. And that's what the song kind of gives off to me. And some of the lyrics are a little silly to me still. Like he's not even giving his girl a free pass. He's thinking highly of himself now. He's got that like flavor to him where he thinks he's high and mighty, or now that he's got this fame, he's 10 times cooler, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still like this song a lot. Like, when this song comes on, I'd never skip it. I still love this song, but I'm just kind of mixed on it. It's also tied for the shortest song on the album with another song. They're both the same length, 2 minutes and 59 seconds, so basically 3 minutes. That's the shortest song on the album, which is cool. I like longer songs. I feel like that's obvious at this point on the podcast, but...
No, I like long songs too, but I kind of feel like if you're not going to have much to say, then it may as well like be short.
No, yeah. The song, he doesn't really have much else to say. He's just trying to spit, and much to talk about yet.
But that's why I think it kind of worked for me. You know, it was short, so he didn't give himself too much room for error. And yeah, and the lyrics, you know, like it was just like very short, straight to the point. The funny lyrics I thought really came off well here. I love like that snap sounding beat that was on this track. It was catchy, but like I also feel like this is one of the few moments on here where I feel like the catchiness, it didn't come off as generic. It didn't come off as someone else. It came off finally like, okay, maybe we're finding our way to something that's a bit more authentic for Post Malone himself as an artist. Yeah. So, like, I kind of feel like this just really worked well for me here. What was your rating?
So, I gave it a 6.5. I still like this song a lot, but I gotta... There are other songs I like more and I think are worth a higher rating. So, I have to kind of stick with my gut, even though I still really like the song.
I gave this one a 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, finally, something like I really
finally
remember enjoying really well. I don't have good memories from like originally listening to this album. So like going back and listening to it now, I'm like, okay, I like this a bit more than I remembered. Why did I not like this so much before? I don't remember.
Maybe you just didn't. Maybe it was life.
Yeah, maybe. I remember.
2016.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But like, yeah, I definitely like this track. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. Moving on, we got track number 5, Cold. What's the opinion? Roro.
Yeah. I can't really get into this one. I think it's too repetitive. It gets a little annoying to me. I mean, to me, the chorus is kind of the highlight of the entire song. I like the backup vocals. I like that it gives a little bit of a contrast and an atmosphere to the rest of the song, but the verses kind of kill it for me. Like I can't get into it. I do like some of the lyrics that aren't repetitive. Like there's this one lyric, "Stuntin' is satisfying, but it don't bring you closure." I also couldn't figure it out. Is it a breakup song? Is it just kind of like a depression song? Is it a reflection song on, I don't know. But I couldn't get into it. I'm sorry.
No, I actually agree with that.
Whoa.
You know, like I don't feel as though there was enough here subject matter wise to justify the length, which is what I was saying before. If you're going to make long songs, make sure you got enough to say and make sure you're saying it well. And I don't feel like it came off well here. I don't feel like there was enough being said to justify the length. And the beat and the vocals themselves, it just kind of sounded kind of hollow to me. Like, I don't feel like there was much effort put in here, unfortunately. Yeah. Like, it kind of felt like we were trying to be, like, emotional, but, like, it just wasn't working for me.
Yeah, it was a little strange.
I gave this song a 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 4. This is my lowest rated song so far on the podcast, and I'm so sad it's a Post Malone song, but that's how you know you're a real fan, I guess, you know?
You stuck out, and you kept going with his music, and you're a fan for it.
Exactly. You're not too scared to say what you really feel.
Yeah.
Because you can reflect on how they've grown, which is kind of what I was saying earlier.
Absolutely.
He's grown. He's a big boy.
He's a big kid now. Okay, but moving on from there, we got track number 6.
Here we go.
Uh-oh. The big song that put him on the map, everybody. White Iverson. What do you think of this song?
I love the song. I love the hazy vibe to it. When I listen to it, like, I feel like I'm at a party. Like, one of those big, crazy, like, rager parties. And, like, I think I've been to, like, maybe one party in my life. And I didn't like it. So, I like that I get to live vicariously through Post Malone songs. The title itself is a reference to a basketball player.
Yeah.
Allen
Iverson.
Allen Iverson. The song needs a lot of credit, obviously, because the song really blew up and gave Post Malone the hype that he needed for his career. I remember watching an interview, and he was saying at the time when he wrote the song, he recorded it pretty quickly after writing it, and he was like not living in the best situation or something, and he was kind of just like, I don't really have anything else to lose, so I'm just gonna put the song out and see what happens. It worked out in his benefit, which I'm really happy for. The song's still in my playlist today. To me, the song never really gets old. Why you laugh?
You're not gonna like what I have to say then.
Okay.
If that's what you're saying about this song.
The song's just fun. It's just a fun song. It's just a basketball song. A ball is life.
It's a basketball song?
There's basketball references in there. No. There's basketball references. I don't play basketballs. I don't play ball, so I don't really know. I just know there's references in there, okay? I know things. I know things.
Get your head in the game.
Yeah, Corbin Bleu. Come on. This song should be called Corbin Bleu. I like how the lyrics flow. I feel like each line just kind of spills into each other in a good way. I like how it flows, and I just like it. I just like the song a lot. And I'm really happy for Post Malone. Whenever I hear the song, I think about it, and I'm like, wow, he grew a lot.
Okay, something positive.
No.
I will agree. I am grateful for this song, because if it didn't blow up, maybe we wouldn't have the Post Malone that we have today.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. It does definitely show how much he's grown as an artist, how far he's come now compared to what his first big hit is with this song.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have never cared for this song. I've always thought this song was a bit annoying. Let me not sound like too much of a hater. I'm a Post Malone fan, I swear.
It's okay. We got two sides of the coin again.
It's long. You know, like, this is the kind of song that should be like about like 2 minutes or so.
It's 4 minutes.
But it's a 4-minute track, and like it just gets too repetitive for me. Like I kind of feel like you honestly could have cut this in half. It would have been just as much of a hit as it is, and I think it would have got the same lasting effect out of it. I don't really feel like there was much here to justify it being 4 minutes long.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't
It's
really
okay.
care for this track.
That's okay.
What's your rating for this song?
I gave it a 9.5. You laugh. I don't laugh at you.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at how different my opinion is.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm laughing.
Okay.
Because I give this a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
That's as bad as it gets for me, guys.
Okay. We're going to turn a leaf in a minute.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to turn a leaf in a minute. Because track number 7 is I Fall Apart. What do you think of this track?
This is such a great breakup song. This is such a great Post Malone song in general. This is, in my opinion, a classic Post Malone song. It doesn't matter how much he changes or how many albums he puts out. This will always be like a great Post Malone song. Like, this is really where he gets his original twist on Stoney, I think. This is one of those songs. Even though it's a breakup song, it's kind of sad, but it's still... sometimes you need those sad Post Malone songs. I needed those sad Post Malone songs at one point, and now it's fine. Just the theme of being so sad, you want to be numb, you don't want to feel the pain anymore. Even if it's consuming alcohol, which you shouldn't do that. Don't turn to drugs when you're sad, unless they're prescribed.
Again, the subject matter is very different on his album compared to what you see from him going forward. Mm-hmm. I think that just shows, not just as an artist, but as a person, how far he's come.
Yeah. I love how raw this song is. Compared to the rest of the album, this song vocally pushed Post Malone. This is one of the first songs where we really hear him not belting, but like, I would say singing. Because on the majority of this album, he's kind of singing, but here it's raw, it's full of emotion. I feel like this song kind of leads into what we hear more of on like 12 Karat Toothache further down the line. I feel like this song also is the climax of the album. This is it. I feel like this is one of the highest points on this album.
I mean, if you listen to the standard version...
Yeah, the standard version. Sorry.
There's a deluxe and there's a standard version. There's 14 tracks, and this is track number 7, so like this pretty much is like the middle of the album.
It is. This is the climax, literally.
There you go.
See? This is great.
I definitely feel like this is where the album is at its best, without a doubt. This is finally, I think, where Post Malone really shows himself as an artist. Like you were saying in the beginning, you know, like this was his take on like rap, and like I feel like this is his mix of it. You got like mix of that trap rap sound with like a singer songwriter type kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, it is a little different.
But yeah, that's what I love about it. I love the emotion in his vocal. Like he feels alive here.
Yeah,
I feel like a problem I have like with a lot of these tracks is the singing doesn't. It sounds like it's hollow. Like there's not much of any. It doesn't feel like there's anything there. Like we're kind of like an autopilot. Here he's 100% in control vocally. Beat-wise, production, everything here I think really works well. So like I really enjoy this track. Definitely one of my favorite songs on the album. I listened to this track actually before I even listened to Stoney as a whole. Mm-hmm. So like when I heard the song, I'm like, okay, I think I hear what people are hearing in this guy so much.
This is a great staple Post Malone song for all those reasons.
What's your rating?
I gave it a 10. It's emotional, it's powerful, it's raw, it's Post Malone. This is such a Post Malone song. This song makes me so happy when I hear it. I don't care if it's a sad song. I'll listen to it whenever. I listen to it all the time still.
I gave this a 7.5 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, I know that's a bit lower when you hear like my review of it. I just feel like the point where I kind of disagree with you a bit is like he does this on other albums, and I feel like he does it a lot stronger on other albums. So when I listen to like those songs from like 12 Karat Toothache or Hollywood's Bleeding or even Beer Bogs and Bentley, the next album, I kind of feel like it's done stronger there. So like I don't know if I can put it on that level of those other songs when we review those albums. When we review the other albums, I think you'll get what I'm saying a bit more.
Yeah, you're thinking of Post Malone as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's also where my mind is when it comes to reviewing this album, just how far he's come, as opposed to just like this album.
Oh, yeah, I'm just thinking about the album. But I think even regardless of his other albums, I think I would still keep this at like a 9 or a 10. This song was such a stepping stone too, for seeing that vulnerable side of Post Malone. Mm-hmm. Like this is our first like real glance into that side of him.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. With that, yeah, we're halfway in the album now.
We did it.
Track number 8, Patient. What'd you think?
I like one of the opening lyrics. Don't mean to brag, but can you blame me? This is such a vibe for this whole album, I think. I really like this song, actually. I think there's some real hidden gems on Stoney
Yeah.
that don't really get talked about as much as they should. When I listened to this album in full again, I had to listen to this a few times. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, this song's pretty good. I kind of forgot about it. But he's kind of just reflecting on how fame can change you as a person and kind of what happens to a lot of people when they become famous. They kind of become more of a demanding, kind of mean person.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just trying to remain patient in such a nonstop world, especially the music industry, where it's all happening right now and it's all instant. And if you're not like demanding and in somebody's face, like you may be forgotten about the next day. It's a hard industry to be in, but he's kind of reflecting on how he's trying to remain true to himself. And I really respect that when artists stay true to themselves. Kind of like we kind of talked about this with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
A couple episodes back. I really respect when people kind of remain authentic. And this song, he kind of explains that he's trying to do that. I mean, he might get a little twisted up in drugs and alcohol and parties and stuff, but he comes back to himself in the end.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. It is good subject matter here. I feel like this is just, again, kind of like what I was saying about No Option. I feel like this is just one of those tracks where you have like the production that feels a bit more authentic for Post, and like he just kind of really shines over it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, that combined with the vocal was pretty good. The subject matter worked well, and I really enjoy this track. We're still on a high here for me at this point. I gave this a 7 out of 10.
Nice. I give it an 8. I didn't have too much to say about the song itself,
yeah,
but I didn't really have anything bad to say either. So overall, I feel like this is one of those hidden gems.
Yeah. Number 9. Go Flex. What do we think?
This song's so fun. This song's so fun to me. I feel like this is I feel like when Post Malone envisioned Stoney, I feel like they had the kind of vibe that Go Flex has. It has that unique Post twist to it, even though it's kind of lyric-wise, it's still kind of generic and it's a little whatever, but I think he puts his own flavor into it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the rock vibe. I like the stomp beat kind of thing. I like that he's putting that rock vibe that he initially wanted into Stoney. I like that we're finally hearing it.
Yeah.
This has one of my favorite Post Malone lyrics of all time in it. It's got a swear word in it. Forewarning. But
Quack.
it has one of my favorite lyrics of all time. I'm just talking to the ones that'll listen. It just kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
That line. I love the use of guitar on the song. It sounds a little different compared to the rest of the songs we've heard so far, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure there's also a reference to Steve Austin in here. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he sprinkled that in there, which is kind of fun and silly. I like this song. I really think it fits the vibe that he was going for.
I thought this was a pretty good track. I would agree it definitely does fit the vibe. I like the mix of guitar throughout this track. I thought that really worked well. It's another example, I feel. I'm not going to say it's like exactly like I Fall Apart, but like it kind of, in that sense, like has that kind of example of like, this is trap, but also with like a singer-songwriter type vibe to it. I thought that was, but it wasn't as strong for me as I Fall Apart, which is where I kind of feel like kind of lost some points for me there. But I think it's a pretty decent track still.
Yeah, it's still pretty good. What did you rate it?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Ooh, I gave it a 9.5.
Mm.
I do really like this song. There are other songs I like a little more, but I also gave it a higher rating because I did feel like this is the kind of vibe that Stoney has or is supposed to have. So for that, I also had to rate it a little higher.
I get that.
Because I don't know. Because I'm weird.
Track number 10, Feel, featuring Kehlani. Uh-oh.
I really like Kehlani. She has a great voice.
Yeah, I like Kehlani too.
I love Kehlani, but this song is very pop driven, and it's not really the vibe that I felt Stoney had or was supposed to have. And I mean, both their verses are great. Kehlani, like the chorus, the verses, everybody did great, but it kind of felt like two different songs when they were singing.
I was kind of going to say, I kind of had the problem here what I had with the Justin Bieber track. Like, I kind of feel like Kehlani comes through, and it kind of ends up sounding like a Kehlani like throwaway song, like it was for one of her albums, and she didn't want to use it, so she gave it to Post Malone.
Yeah.
Kind of had that same issue.
After this, didn't she kind of gain a little more popularity? Was it kind of because of the song a little bit?
I think it might have been somewhat. I know she was like really coming up around this time.
Yeah.
She was doing a lot of features for people, so I do definitely think like this helped her. But
Sorry,
no, you're fine. I just thought it was a pretty decent duet. I didn't love Post Malone's vocals on here, but like I don't really feel like he matched his vibe,
Mm-mm.
and I don't feel like you said, I don't feel like the vibe of the song matched his album at all.
No.
Not much.
I like that he still puts some silly lyrics in here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so high, I'm Martian.
I
I didn't feel the chemistry or the vibe with these two. I mean, it sounded like two different songs to me.
feel like if these two, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm done.
I feel like if these two maybe like came back now and wrote a song together, I feel like you'd hear a bit more of a chemistry between the two. Maybe because they both grown as artists, that they're more into their sounds, and I feel like it would mix a bit better now.
Yeah, maybe they're nervous.
Maybe they're both kind of new at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't feel like it really worked well for either side here. I give this a 5 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.5. I could still kind of get into it, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this one, but I don't know. A for effort, I guess.
Yeah. Moving on, track number 11, Too Young. What do we think?
I love this song. I still have this song in my cycle of songs right now, and I have for a while. I like that Post Malone doesn't really put any kind of like auto-tune or any kind of effect over his voice. I like that you kind of just hear Post Malone, whether he's singing or rapping or whatever he's trying to do. So I like that he sounds kind of raw, especially in the song particularly, because he's not really singing, he's just kind of doing his verses. Just kind of just talking about wanting to enjoy your success before you get old and you die or whatever. You want to enjoy the success you've had, and you want to have time to do it. I like the beat with his raw vocals. I think it sounds more authentically Post Malone when we hear that. I think it's a great motivational song that's not super upbeat and very fast. It's kind of more chill, and I kind of like that. You could really feel motivated by this song, or you could kind of sit and relax and listen to it. I like that you can be a little flexible with the song depending on your mood. And mostly I just liked it because of his raw vocals.
I didn't love the production on this. I do like the more laid back vibe, but I kind of feel like it just felt a bit generic to me. Like I kind of feel like anybody could have taken this and done exactly what he did with it. And also, I think there might be it might be a bit hard on this track in particular, because this is kind of where I hit like a realization with why I'm not loving this album. Because like I kind of feel like at this point, I don't feel like Post Malone is putting much into the vocals here on this record. It just kind of feels like, again, we're just kind of like on autopilot here. Like I do agree. I think it's pretty cool just hearing like raw vocals as opposed to like with the auto tune and the vocal effects. But if you're gonna do that, like you really got to come through vocally. You really got to. The vocal performance is just as good as like what you're saying. And I don't feel like the vocal performance here or on a lot of these tracks is very strong. Again, I feel like vocally he grows as a singer as he goes along in his career. I don't feel like there was just not a lot of punch here on this album and on this track in particular. So like I didn't really love this song either.
It's a little repetitive, but it's not the worst on the album.
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay, so it's not the worst.
No, it's not.
I gave it an 8. I still like it. I still listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on, track number 12. Here it is, y'all.
Here it is.
One of the big singles again that helped put them on the map. Congratulations, featuring what'd you say, Quavo?
Quavo.
What did you think of this? I'm just kidding.
It's fine. First of all, I want to say, if you're a Metro fan, you can so clearly tell that this is a Metro song, and I love that. The second you hear it, you're like, yep. You can just tell, especially now, after Future's dropped his albums, you can tell right when it starts, it's Metro. I love him. I feel like this is another classic Post Malone song. I mean, obviously, this song is still so popular. Also wanted to point out, I really like that the song follows Too Young. I thought the two fit together very well, and I like that they placed Congratulations after Too Young. He wants to enjoy his success, and he wants to have time to do that, and now he does, because he's saying congratulations to himself. I think they sound great together on the song. Quavo really sounds like Post Malone's hype man on the song, and I thought they matched energy really well. It doesn't get too exciting, but the energy is matched well enough to where I personally felt satisfied listening to both their parts. I thought this was a classic, a good Post Malone Stoney song.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. This is, I think, easily the best collaboration on the album. There's actually not a lot of collaborations on here.
No.
So like
only 3?
Yeah, just Quavo, Kehlani, and Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, I think this is the one time I feel like Post Malone has like real chemistry with somebody on the track. So I thought, and Quavo was really big at around this time, doing like features for people. So like I feel like he shined very well here. He fits like a glove on tracks like this. The Metro Boomin, yeah, you can hear that like from a mile away, but that's not a bad thing at all.
No, it's so fun.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I think Metro really came through here production wise. And this is one of the few tracks, like there are a lot of tracks on here that like give that vibe of like you were saying kind of earlier, like party tracks.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few like tracks where I really feel like there's real energy where like it should be played at a party and I can go crazy for it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like bragging in the lyrics, or kind of like hype up in the lyrics, and I really feel like that combined with the beat like really gave you the energy that you needed from this song. And like going back listening to it, I totally get why this was like one of the bigger hits on this album. I really like this track. This is probably my favorite song on the album.
Yay!
I gave it 8 out of 10.
Ooh, I gave it a 10. This song's great.
Yeah, no.
Good job, Post Malone.
Track number 13, Up There. What you think?
This is another hidden gem on Stoney. There's probably 3 in my opinion, and this is the last hidden gem on there. And I really like the rock vibe that we get from this. I think it sounds really cool, and the song sounds a little bit different from the rest, like in a good way. If you listen to all the tracks in order, by the time you get to number 13, it almost feels like a breath of fresh air. Like it sounds so different, and it's spacey, and it still has that kind of hazy, Stoney vibe to it, but it still stands out. Like when I was listening to this, like writing down all my notes, I probably stopped to listen to Up There like 3 or 4 times in a row before I moved on, because I just forgot how good this song is.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. This song feels like a breath of fresh air. It stands out. It's definitely a different track for this album. And I went to look at the credits to see, who produced this, because like it feels so different. And this is the Pharrell song.
Oh,
so like
I didn't look that up. That's interesting.
I didn't even know he produced for this album at the time until I looked at the credits. I was like, why does it sound so different? Who produced this track?
I knew he did one song on here at least, but I never bothered to look up like what songs he did. But it makes sense he did this song.
Yeah,
it's
no,
got the
definitely.
Pharrell vibe. I don't know how I didn't catch that before.
Definitely has a Pharrell vibe, and I think that's what helped me like it so much, because I'm a big Pharrell fan.
You love Pharrell.
He's a fantastic producer. I think what Post's vocals get a bit drowned out in the production.
Maybe a little.
In parts. That's maybe what took a couple points off for me, but I definitely feel like this is still overall one of the better tracks here. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Ooh, I gave it a 9.5.
All right.
Yeah.
And here we are.
The last one.
Last track, number 14, yours truly, Austin Post. What did we think of the end?
He needs a Bud Light break.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that line specifically is very Post Malone. He's a Bud Light fan, I guess. I mean, that's fine. If you like it, that's fine. I'm not a beer fan, but whatever. But that line specifically also just gave me, like, early 2000 vibes, where in the beginning or the end of the songs, they would just drop, like, a random one-liner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would just say, like, something really random, and then the song would end, or it would start. I mean, this song actually is currently in my most current work playlist. I've added it in there because I was like, I haven't listened to this song in forever, and it's actually not that bad. I really like the lyric. I've been eating so good that my belly... What do you say? I've been eating so good that my belly broke. But, like... Same, but, like, didn't he also have a fast food addiction for a minute?
I think at the time... Was that Post Malone?
I think it was Post Malone. Because I remember around the time F1 Trillion was going to drop, he was talking about how he's been eating healthier and he lost a lot of weight, and people thought it was because of drugs or something. But he was like, no, I just like kind of cut out fast food from my life and I lost a lot of weight. I mean, I feel that though. Fast food is so addicting and it's so good. I had Taco Bell the other night for dinner, so like, who am I to talk? But like...
I mean, it's called fast food for a reason. It's just convenient to grab real fast.
And it's right down the street.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, you're surrounded by fast food.
I really am. It's a curse. It's bad. I have to cook food and I have to not look out the window. I can't. I have to cook food. Anyway, I like the laid back vibe because he's coming down from one of the highs of his life, and I mean when you come down from being high, it's just you feel so like kind of tired, almost like euphoric sometimes. You just kind of feel, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
But I still think this is one of the better songs on the album. I like that it's the last song, so he doesn't leave on a sour note.
You know, I thought it was okay. It felt a bit like a sort of like ending for me. Like, you know, maybe we could have ended this better, but at the same time, we also could have ended this a lot worse. Honestly, I was just kind of middle of the road on everything here. The vocals, production, the lyrics. I was just kind of middle of the road on this track. I was like, you know, we reached the end. I'd already said, I swear I'm a Post Malone fan. Yeah, you know, I was just kind of middle of the road on this track. I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I gave it an 8. I still liked it.
All right, well, that's the end.
That's it.
Top 3.
Do you have a top 3?
I got a top 3. I was able to.
Okay.
My favorite, definitely, I said, was Congratulations. I Fall Apart and Up There, and I would say in that order.
Okay, those are good. Mine, it was really hard for me to pick a top 3 because I had a lot of mixed feelings on this album, and like there were songs that I really, really liked, and then there were some that I kind of liked that I thought deserved to be in a top 3, and it was hard to pick. But in no particular order, my top 3 are Deja Vu, I Fall Apart, and White Iverson, with an honorable mention to Up There. So I ended up picking the bops, but like I had to.
I picked the singles because, like, aside from White Iverson, yeah, like my introduction to Post was these songs.
Yeah.
Well, not Up There, but like Congratulations and I Fall Apart. So like when I heard those songs, I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna really love this album. And I listened to the album, I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't really care for it. I'm sorry.
The album's very mixed, but I mean, it's his first debut album. And I mean, you could obviously tell he's trying to find his sound and find where he fits in, and he's just trying different things out until he finds where he really feels comfortable and where he thrives. And I really like that we get to watch artists do that over the years. I mean, I love watching artists grow and find their sound, and it's just cool to watch them do that and blow up. And I mean, now he's selling out stadiums, which is crazy.
Yeah,
he came from this to closing out stadiums.
You know, he's definitely come a long way. And I think looking at his overall journey and where he is now kind of helped me like the album a bit more.
Yeah.
Because, you know, on the own, I think I just didn't really care for it. You know, I could see glimpses of the potential that this guy had.
Yeah.
But overall, it just felt kind of a generic, kind of lazy kind of debut. It seemed more like, you know what it seemed like to me? It seemed more like this should have been a mixtape than an album. This didn't feel like an album.
Maybe not every song, but a good chunk of them could have been a mixtape. I think he released a mixtape, like...
I do remember him releasing a mixtape before this.
Right before this.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it, actually. Call me a fake fan, but I haven't listened to it yet. Where can I listen to it?
Well, mixtapes are
they on Spotify? Because I didn't see it. Are they on iTunes?
I don't know about this particular one. There are like websites and apps that you can download to listen to mixtapes.
I have listened to one of his first singles. What is it called? Why Don't You Love Me? Oh, I love that song unironically so much. I love his outfit. I like that he has the jorts. That's a staple. The jorts.
Yeah.
I love that song. I play it all the time.
He has come a long, long way from that.
No, he has. I'm so happy for him. I love Post Malone.
You got a rating overall for the album?
For the album overall, I mean, I will say it's not my favorite Post Malone album, but I still have to respect, like, how much he's grown since this album. And I still listen to quite a few songs off of this album. Like, I listen to Congratulations a lot. I listen to Yours Truly. I listen to Go Flex sometimes, White Iverson. I Fall Apart I listen to all the time. Deja Vu. So I have to give it respect because there are a lot of good songs on this album still. There's some hidden gems. There are some songs that aren't that great, that aren't really rememberable. Overall, I would probably give this album as a whole. Okay, I'm torn between a 6.5 and a 7. So maybe I give it a 6.8.
Okay. This is definitely my least favorite Post Malone album. I think what helped me liking it more going back listening to it was the fact that, you know, you see how much he's grown on his other records. Mm-hmm. So seeing what the potential has grown into kind of helped me to like where he started from a bit more. And as an album itself, I didn't particularly care for this. I gave it I would say maybe overall, I guess maybe like a 5 out of 10.
Ooh.
I don't know, even the highs from this record, I don't return to, really.
What? You don't listen to I Fall Apart?
Not really.
Congratulations.
I mean, because like I said, I feel like he's done tracks like that better on his future projects.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like I go back and listen to those songs that are like them, just stronger. I feel like I go back and listen to those songs more. I don't really return to this record. If we didn't review it, I don't know if I'd really ever go back and really listen to this project.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I swear I'm a Post Malone fan.
It's okay. You got to be honest.
Yeah,
even though you're a fan, you have to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Post. I didn't really care for you at the start, but I'm definitely a fan now.
He's a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan.
Yo. But yeah, with that's our first.
That's Post Malone. That's Baby Post.
Baby Post.
Baby Post. He grew up so fast.
Thank y'all for listening to the first review 2025.
Yeah, we got more coming. We're so excited to hear the new music that's dropping this year, and then we'll review some albums that are turning like 10, 15, 20 years old possibly. There's quite a few albums that I didn't realize were turning 10 years old this year.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that's going 10.
Oh, I'm old.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm old too.
Why can't I retire if I'm this old?
This is my 10-year anniversary of high school.
Wow, mine's next year.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for rocking with us. We got a lot of new stuff coming on the way.
Yeah, tell us what you think of Stoney, or Post Malone as a whole, or how he's grown. Tell us your thoughts on this whole subject matter, because we love Post Malone, obviously.
Yeah.
So it was only right that we start the year with Post Malone. And maybe we'll end the year with Post Malone. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? A whole year's going to go by, basically. There's
still 4 projects from him we didn't do. You haven't reviewed yet? Yeah.
Yeah. We got to sprinkle them in there.
We'll sprinkle them throughout the year. You'll be seeing more by the end of the year, trust me.
Yeah.
But thank you again for listening. We'll be back with more. And with that, this has been
the Duck Squad Podcast.